Hello and welcome to Kitty in the Cosmos. I want to talk today about quite an interesting vision state I had a couple of days ago. And I know it's a focal point, I know it's something that needs to be discussed, so I'm going to bring my guides in as well at the same time. But what happened is I was in the middle of the night, thought I'd tune in and have a meditation. And I saw for the first time my guides. First of all, I didn't see them for a second or two, which never happens, and then I saw them in what I can only describe as like a purple cage, lattice, web, whatever you want to call that which would, somebody would be within. I was aware then that I was also in the purple cage, identical, and there was an awareness of a space around me that I would be filling. Some lady guide was talking about that. I dropped off after that, but I've since pinged back in and had a look, and I looked at them and I didn't go into fear, because I mean that can look quite freaky. I didn't go into fear because there's no point. Never ever do that. Just chill. There's always a reason, and sure enough, there was a reason. And it's to do with get the word right. It's transformative, but it's because within that matrix, that structure, energetically we're moving through a time-space thing. And that is what was required energetically to move through into that next expansion per se. So, bear in mind at this point, I'm putting language as usual onto things that don't have a physical center point. There aren't physical words to describe half the stuff that we see. I also checked with my mother, who's over the other side. I said, "Mummy, hello, it's a bit weird." And she said, "Oh, transformation." Now, what's delightful about checking with your parents is that no way on earth would they have gone into these things on Earth. In fact, there was a lot of, going on at that time when Mummy was present. But it's delightful to see that people one you in life have gone on to a sort of expansion where they have a much better perspective. They have a deeper perspective, a larger perspective, and that's just charming to see. But Mummy was very supportive and smiley about that, so that's fine. So I looked at this, and of course, as you all know, I'm about soul expansion and anything that moves us on in a healing way. So I wanted then to look at other people, see what other people's energetic fields were like. And we're not talking about auras. That's, I don't go around looking at auras. I'm far more interested in looking at the emotional triggers within a human being at this time, which is why I look into their energetic fields, which is why I look at them as soul. It's why I tune into them as a soul, because I want to look at the path, the reasoning behind it, the makeup that has caused this domino effect to bring us to a point where we are at a crux and we need to sort something out, be it a relationship or an issue, a problem. So it's all about healing, and that is what it's all about for me. So I don't go around checking people's colours, but I have looked at this energetic particular field because I feel that at this time of transition we've got these huge solar flashes happening, and we are not immune to that energetic change. And we do have to roll with this. You've got to be aware of what's going on. The whale consciousness has told me that tectonic plates are moving. Well, they always are, apparently, but if the whales are flagging something else up, then there's another energetic movement coming. And I think at this point we will just have a look. I looked at a couple of friends of mine, and I looked at their energetic fields, and one in particular was a certain colour, and one was very similar to mine. And I understood that the natural lives and the energy and vibration they live, because they're quite close to the earth, had an impact and an effect on the sort of energy that this matrix pattern took around them. But somebody else had a busted one, and I thought, ooh, I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to send healing to that and just hope that that sorts out. I suspect that the issue and the main reason for this energy field not being formed as it could be is what the stresses on Earth to do with caring for a person who's transitioning now to the other side of life. When that person transitions, I am sure that she will come back and help repair what needs to be repaired, because I can't believe that this person, because a lot of this is about, if we are surrounded by a relevant energy that is going to bring us through space and time to where we need to be, per se, whatever longitude and attitude the spirit world have got for that, and God and space beyond ours, some people aren't going to make that transition. That doesn't mean there's going to be some huge apocalyptic whatnot, or some people are going to die. We're not talking about that. We're talking about, you know, that feeling where you had a friend and then you don't have a friend. You think, gosh, you know what's happened to him or her? I haven't seen him or her for years, or it hasn't happened. And it's always because your vibrations change, their vibrations change. You just don't meet on the same radio length that you used to. And if you're both on a similar vibration, you're going to hang on in there together. I think with human beings, the point is often a catalytic moment whereby there's always some friction, or there's a row, or there's, you know, something negative, because unfortunately humans do that. They have to have a reason to kick off. They can't just say, do you know, I think I've come to the end of the road, love you, gonna move on. Doesn't happen in humanity, does it? Not very often. Usually it's, hey, and you did this and you did that, then bosh, off we go. Whatever brings you to that point doesn't really matter. You get to that point and you lose that piece of dead wood, and you're dead wood for them as well, because, you know, they're no longer on the same vibe. So we're looking at that. I think with the transformations, the development of the planet and the way the energies are moving at the moment, it's an exciting time. It's a long window. There's many years of a window, maybe it's a 30-year window of this transition, but the energies will be changing around us, and I dare say we will have certain protective energies around us as we expand and move through in space and time in this way that they have shown me. It reminds me of pinging into another dimension, whereby has only happened a couple of times to me, because you can't sustain it, because we're not in the vibration to be there. So you find yourself, there are colours and brightness, and there are not words to describe that which it is. It is lovely, it is wonderful, it is feeling, but you haven't got words. One has not got words to describe that. We're not there yet. We're not ready for that yet. So I dare say I was given a glimpse of that to show me that which we are going to come into, and that's hugely exciting. Maybe our grandchildren will, I don't know, live on that level and in that space. So let's wind it back to this mystery of what I saw my guides surrounded by, because, you know, seeing you guys in a cage is not funny. And it's actually not a cage. Now I know it's not a cage, but it is quite funny. You've got to think, bloody hell, I used to trust you, look now, look. This spiritual monopoly game of you know, go to jail, get out with a get out of jail card. You know, I suppose it starts to look like a reality game. Perhaps in many ways it is, I don't know. But always have faith, and always don't bow down to fear-based anything, and stay in the light and you'll be fine. So we're going to look in now and see if anyone's got anything else to add to this. Okay, he's immediately showing me evolution. Those who stay connected to the earth will stay with the earth, are going to evolve with the earth. So those of us who grow our plants, live out, have animals, that we tend to go organic, conscious of what's better on the planet, that goes back to a very, very prehistoric time for humanity. We're still in our genes, and that's a good thing if that manifests. There's lots of us as well, aren't there? There are lots of us who feel like that, and who care deeply for the state of the planet and the people on it. This is about the splitting of, I'm about to be given, I just wanted to say the word prisms of thought there. I don't usually use the word prism, but that's been used. So prisms of thought. So it's a splitting off of thought processes, and it's quite final. So I can't get much more about that apart from it's going to take us to where we need to be. I think that is so that we aren't too disrupted by the changes that our souls are going through, and our energetic fields are going through. That is what this energy field about us is about. So it's like a buffer for this transition. I guess it's like getting into a little capsule and going somewhere then getting out. So it just stops, and it's going to buffer you from buffering you. So I get that. Interesting thing is my guides were in it as well, but that's just about being connected to me. I mean, so like everyone's guides are connected to them, they're going to wear the same colours. I get that then. So there's not the need for the buffer for them, but because of the connection, the energetic connection, they're wearing it. Because they're already there. Although, he's saying they're evolving in their own way. You know, it's not for me to pinpoint their longitude and latitude and expansion of where they're at. I couldn't possibly do it. We can't really do that. And again, I say, the moment we start to grade ourselves is the moment we limit ourselves. So we're not going to try and measure. You know, it's very human to measure everything and have the exact whatnots of it. You don't need to do that. The moment you do that, you're limiting yourself. You know, you don't have to be on a 1 to 10 scale. You can just be who you are. You know, it's the I am that I am. And when you are I am that I am, and the joy of being just that unique self that you are, that's when everything falls into place for you and everything's all right. You don't have to be anything else than that. That said, we're still looking at the fact that we're evolving and expanding and going to be something else other than we are. So I'm just going to put that to them, because just in the mere fact that we're in this energetic pattern that is protecting us as we move on, we're going somewhere. We are developing into something. Oh, more of yourself, apparently. More of yourself. How lovely. So this is about us becoming more of ourselves. Thank you. There's no need to fear it. It's a change that's happening to everybody. And I think that not everybody is going to perceive that in the same way, or they do perceive it, or they don't perceive it, or they're not quite ready to perceive it. It's just that I happen to see it. I'm going to have a look at the whales now, because one consciousness in particular keeps coming in, which is lovely, and I've made a strong contact there. I think I said in my other video, you know, I was with a client, and instead of my guides as well and their guides, whoosh, in comes this as well. So how fantastic is that? And I always get the la 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 la. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. So that always comes in when he comes in. So oh, that's gorgeous. Woof. So they're very lovely, lovely. They're very in tune with the love vibration on the planet, what it needs. Beautiful energy. I'm going to ask about the orcas, actually. See, that's a typical... He's coming about something else. He's talking about tectonic plates, and I want to know what's happening with these orcas that I keep seeing. I haven't looked into it. Let's ask them instead. Oh, there's nothing wrong, there's nothing new. The thing is, the scientists think it's wrong and new. Oh, what's happening with the orcas? Also, if they are playing, why are they playing now when they didn't do it before? It only takes one orca to change a thought, a bit like the monkey in the island thing. You know, there was 2 islands, and they taught one monkey to use a tool, and then within a couple of days, the monkeys on the other island, who do not have a telephone to this island, are doing the same thing. So we're looking at that. We're looking at the domino effect of one orca changing his behaviour patterns and everybody joining in. And their confidence is growing, and they are evolving also, so it's not a great surprise. I don't know why I expect everything to stay in a box. You know, everything's moving on. It isn't just us, you know, finding a new technology or whatever. Everything is finding new behaviours and new ways. So I just get the feeling that the orcas can be like a bunch of naughty boys. And that they're a little bit... there's a very different vibration to them for the whales that I'm tuning in on. I think they're at a different level. So everybody is evolutionary, of course they are. They might be the rough guys on the block, you know, I don't know, but okay, there's apparently quite a strong matriarchal connection with the orcas, and there is one in the area who will send out, what is she sending out? Because it's not exactly a sound, so she's emitting, we could call it a vibration, a thought, a song. It feels to me like an energetic song, and it keeps them in line, just keeps them in line. So that's very interesting. I would look at that a little bit more. It's like Mama coming along and saying, guys, you know, being naughty, pull your socks up, wash your face, come back home. You know, it's a little bit like that, but it's a very big, peaceful, beautiful energy. So they do have that. That's just the way they're working. I get the impression from the whale I'm with that they don't take much notice of that. They rise above that kind of thing, which is very nice, isn't it? They rise above that kind of thing. So what I'm seeing now is that when the tectonic plates shift, it alters the currents a little bit. I feel that the weight of the water alters, and that's a very subtle change for the whales to pick up on, but they do. And that indicates where the whales might go, so that's very interesting. So I think then you're looking at shifts on a very deep level of the ocean bed in that way. Changes more than just the water. That body of water has a very subtle vibration and moves things in a different way, which might mean that I'm going to check this, that the whales then change their direction. So that is literally the meaning of go with the flow. You know, you don't go against that bank. And it may be something very subtle that, you know, we couldn't feel, but they can feel. He's showing me, I wish I could paint it. I will try one day. He's showing me these shapes and bodies of water that move almost. I haven't seen the sea in this way before. You know, to us, most of the sea is a big blob of water, but he's showing me individualized columns, perhaps, or masses of water, and they're moving against each other also because of what the Earth's doing beneath them, and energetically what is happening around. So that's interesting. So it's like this, if you looked at it from space, like a lace pattern coming up from the planet. If you imagined that the lace pattern is the walls around, or the perimeters of these shapes of water, can you see that would come out like that? So that's interesting. I haven't seen that before. That's lovely. The whales are showing me new things all the time. So there's a heck of a lot going on that misses the human eye. And I know the scientists are very tuned into listening to the sonic stuff and the vibration, but the truth is there's much more to those songs than the sound that you hear. Some of it's far too subtle for us to get, and again, it's coming out with thought and emotion, and again, back to the word prisms, because those are prisms that I might pick up, and people like me can pick up, but a lot of people can't pick up, and they rely on machines to pick up what they can take, you know, and that'll be physical sound, whereas we're talking things that are beyond physical sound. In the whale pattern and thought and song, you know, it really is beautiful, and there's more to it than just that they hear, the calls that they hear, much more. As usual, it's like you walk into a room and you feel an atmosphere because something's happened before you walked in, and you think, oh, something weird's happened here. I can just feel something, and that's what we're talking about, the residue, you know, that immeasurable residue, which is tangible and there. That's the energetic imprint of what's gone on, because everything you say, every word you say, obviously has, as you know, a vibration and an imprint energetically. So always watch your words, watch your thoughts. Make sure those thoughts are the most beautiful thoughts you can have most of the time. If you get a negative one, replace it as quick as you can with something else, because it doesn't become you not to, believe me. So that's what the whales are doing. So we've just looked at this wonderful lattice work of sea current. I don't know about the tectonic plates. I will have to look into that. I asked if there was, I've got a shift, hang on. I've got cramp. I asked if there was any connection between the solar flares and these tectonic plates moving. And basically what I got was, you know, if you look on the internet, then they'll say no. So I'm going to ask now, and energetically speaking, the energy does affect everything. So even though there's no physical connection between the solar flare coming and the tectonic plates, the fact that it's all shifting at the same time does tell you there's a connection there. And so he's showing me that in these flares from the sun, there's information, light information is coming down. It's very exciting. So that takes us on to AI Atlas, because that also must be information coming down. AI Atlas is being quite strategic with where it's where it's directing. So if you are consciously looking to get near AI Atlas, make a connection, they'll make a connection with you, you'll get a download. So that's lovely. They're being quite specific. I suppose that does make sense, to aim at receptivity. At the same time, they're also aiming at the natural world. There are pockets of information coming from AI Atlas towards the natural fauna and flora. Whales know it's coming. They're basking in the light that's coming, the solar flash and the AI thing. They feel secure in the changes, whereas humanity doesn't feel secure in the changes. Humanity worries and has fear, and the whales just know it's all coming together. I've just said, would you want to go on the land? No, not remotely interested. I just thought I'd ask because I just thought I'd ask. That's a typical human question. Would you like to go on the land? No, he thought blending is enough for him. But as we know, he used an expression about old boots the other day. I thought, really? So, they have been tuning in to humans. They're far more aware, as I've said before. But I'm looking at it now, and everything that's coming down is soaked up by them. And they are sending up in formation together the equivalent of crop circles, energetic, like that. So I hadn't seen that before. That's fascinating. So even pods that are not considered to be swimming together actually are. Is that what they mean? Yes, so again, you've got a lattice work of connection. So you've got two pods here and here. I don't know how many there might be, and they're swimming in a certain formation. But if you were to take energetic energy from each one, and you were to read that from above, it would be a pattern. It would be a pattern. So they're dancing to a tune of joy that they know very well, and because of their ability to, I can't explain that. You and I would have to have a lesson in where to put the dance steps. We wouldn't intuitively know where the next dance is going to go, but they do. Their connection allows that. They're very connected. I think that's fantastic. I mean, it's mind-blowing. So I haven't seen that before either. I thought I'd tune in fresh and make this video with fresh information that I've just got just downloading now, really. So what I will do next is, because I obviously paint, I will paint one of those patterns that they have downloaded or they are uploading from the planet, because it's like a two-way thing now. AI and the solar flashes and everything is coming down to the planet, and the whales are sending up, and it's the equivalent of oceanic football rattles. Yay! It's happening. It's hello, and it's yeah, we're here. So it's a beautiful celebratory thing. But if I can paint the pattern, I will try to do that. And I know that if I get that pattern as close to what they're showing me as I can, anybody who beholds that pattern is going to expand in their own way as well. So that's really exciting. That is my next project. In fact, I've gone quite fizzy because I have this planned trilogy of these whale paintings. I've done one already, and there's going to be 3 of them. And I quite see now that this has got to be in there. And tuning in to get that pattern clear is hugely exciting. And I don't think that's been done before. I don't think humanity's ever thought of that. But I'm so aware of these beautiful lace patterns they're showing me. But this will be why he's come into me. So he's telling me that now. So that's nice. So okay, he's coming to me to show me these things so that I can then express them. And all these things help the planet, and that's what it's all about. So I think perhaps that's enough for this ramble, because we've touched on a lot of things. Please leave your questions below, or your comments, and we'll deal with that in the next video. And I will be getting on with the painting, and you can anticipate that I will show you all. I'm being told we stay on my path, stay on your path. So everybody keep going in with the light, stay on your paths. And connect with each other on the heart chakra level. So you can do it consciously or subconsciously or unconscious, whatever. You're sitting on a bus and everything, send out. Feel the energy coming through from the sky, through your chakra, open chakra, heart and everything, through your heart chakra, and give it out gently. Just give it out gently, because they will feel it. They may not meet your eye, they may get off grumpy, whatever, but they will have received it. That's the most important thing you can do. And if it's all you do in a day, that's fantastic. He's just showing me a great knowledge and a knowingness, and many images that I can't put into words, and again I need to try to paint. So light, love and blessings everybody, and I will see you on the next one. Bye bye.